Bullseye.
You know, it is so hard to find non-copyright songs these days that are really sick. Anyway, this one's alright, but you'd be surprised the amount of copyright claims I have on my videos because the music was so epic, I just had to use it. But anyway, good day to you, sirs. It is Grizzle Marine, and I got a different kind of video for you today. And hopefully, if it goes well, I can actually bring it quite regularly. What you guys are watching is the BattleFY finals, which I had the honour to actually play in, which was pretty awesome. And it's actually quite funny how I came about to playing in it, because originally I didn't have a team whatsoever. But either way, I'm going to tell you about my experience and also to talk about the finals that I played with my Hunter team. Just for those of you that don't know what BattleFY is, it's basically a website that allows you to do community tournaments, and Turtle Rock does host a BattleFY community tournament for Evolve every 2 weeks, I believe. And obviously you have to have a team, 1 monster, and then 4 Hunter players in order to enter. And I actually had the amazing opportunity to enter and play, which was really, really sick. So the way I actually got into this tournament was kind of last minute. I was actually playing Monster, and Kranz, who's the leader of this team, went against me with his squad, and they absolutely destroyed me. But nonetheless, one of their members actually recognised who I was, and they invited me to play some Hunters with them. And they actually said that, you know, if one of their team dropped the next day, which was the day of the tournament, then they would be happy to take me on and play some BattleFY. But funnily enough, 2 of their members had to drop because of the time changes, and so Poncha and I came across and played in this tournament, which was really, really awesome. So the name of this team is actually Old School. Amazing name, I know, but Kranz insists on keeping this name. I know he's watching this video, so he knows how much I dislike his name, but it's because he's had it for a long time he wants to keep it. But I want to convince him to change it to something fucking epic. So, you know, in the comments, tell him to change it to something awesome. I was thinking something like, you know, Demon Dogs, and base it off the sticker, so technically your name's on the ship, which would be pretty awesome. Other than all that, I should actually talk about the damn game. So basically there's a lot of rules that are different in these tournaments to when you play normal Evolve. Personally, I think they should actually have a mode implemented into the game which has these rules, because it makes it a lot more balanced and a lot more competitive. I'm just going to mention a few of the rules, as that Venom Hound absolutely fucks me over. And these rules do make it a lot better in my opinion. So, for instance, there's no wildlife buffs. So the only buffs you get is the one you pick before you actually go into the game as your character. So that means you don't get any sort of Stage 1 monsters getting a damage buff and screwing you over, or the Hunters vice versa doing anything similar. The other 2 rules, which I think are quite important, you don't get any dodgy weather. It's all fair weather so that you don't, you know, have the monster get an advantage of Hunters not being able to see them as well. Then lastly, you actually have to tell the monster what your support and medic is going to be, and then they can pick their monster, and they tell you what their monster is, and then you pick your trapper and finally your assault. So that's why you will notice in this we had Parnell, because personally I wouldn't have said Parnell was an amazing assault unless it's against a close range monster like Behemoth, but because we knew he was going to go Behemoth, we could pick Parnell quite safely. So when you go against a team, it's a best of 5, and as we were going against their monster, our monster was indeed going against their Hunters. Now, our monster is pretty damn insane. I think he's like top on the leaderboards for Kraken, but either way, his name is I Damn Clutch, and he's just this insane fucking Mexican kid who just screws people over. Like, it's actually insane how good he is at Monster. I'd love to show you some footage of him playing, but unfortunately I don't have any. But he didn't actually lose a game that whole tournament, which was a nice little cushion for us, so in case we lost, we had that kind of supporting us. But going against their monster, he decided of course to pick Behemoth. Now, I wouldn't have said Behemoth was a wise decision at this current time, because I think a very good Hunter team like we are can just take it on very, very easily. I think Wraith, Kraken and Goliath are the safer choices at the moment, but fair enough, he decided to take Behemoth. The problem with Behemoth is he's quite slow and way too big of a target, so it was very easy to keep track of him and keep pressure on him with Gobi. The only big benefit I see with Behemoth, if you do hit your abilities, you can do an insane amount of damage in close quarters, but we kept our distance and avoided taking damage quite a bit. And we also got him in some domes where he couldn't really run away or hide, so he did take a huge amount of damage in return. Now, moving on through the end of this first game, this was actually very surprising. So, as you can clearly see, we've got Behemoth in a tight spot, but he's targeting Kranz, who's playing our medic, which of course is probably one of the most important people to keep alive. And Kranz can only dodge so much, and I could only shield him so much, which did lead to Behemoth isolating Kranz, and Kranz does eventually go down. Now, at this point, I got stupidly cocky, thinking, you know, that Behemoth has low health and we're bound to take him out. But I didn't really think about the fact that all the health we had was everything, because the assault was low health and his shield was already popped, and it would be the same with the trapper in terms of health. So I should have really been concentrating on shielding people, but no, I decided to go for the kill. As you can clearly see, he quickly gets the assault and trapper down. Now at this point, I was getting told to cloak and run, and I was also getting told to shoot him, which led to a panic, and funnily enough, the monster won the first game. So that just goes to show, keep fucking alert, because at any point the monster could turn it around, because they do have a lot of power, especially Behemoth, and I just really didn't think about that. But half a bar of health, that was so gutting. But luckily, of course, our monster won his game, so that was a nice little cushion for us and led us on to the second game against their monster. Now, this game was, of course, important because if we won it, that would lead to the win overall. The other thing I suppose I forgot to mention is also you only take certain amounts of maps, so each team gets to disqualify certain maps, and, you know, the remaining maps are the maps you play. And also there's some maps that you can't even play at all, such as Broken Hill Mine, because they're just so imbalanced it wouldn't be fair on either side. So it's pretty good, and so MedLab was the final map for us. So I'd just like to mention, if any of you lot are actually interested in getting an Evolved team together, or perhaps you already have an Evolved team, I'll leave a link to BattleFY in the description, and if you've got a team, then I recommend you do sign up and come to these tournaments every 2 weeks, because they're really good fun. I think it'd be awesome to see a lot more of the Evolved community playing Evolved more competitively. I really do recommend, if any of you do have a team, you actually do this, because also if you get to the semi-finals, then you get an exclusive Goliath skin, which is pretty damn cool, and I am expecting to get that very, very soon. Also, the more teams that sign up, the more fun it's going to be for everyone, so I'd recommend, especially if you haven't got a team but are interested in being in a team, if you make friends with people in general around Evolve, in perhaps the comments of this video, there's loads of people that I'm sure that would be interested in making teams, or you can go to the Turtle Rock forums and make a post about it, because it's very easy to find the Evolve players, and you will find that there's a lot of people like you who will be interested in making a team. Then you might find the more teams we get involved, we actually might have a chance of perhaps bringing ESL back for Xbox and PS4, which I think would be absolutely sweet to see, even if it makes it so Turtle Rock perhaps increase what the prizes might be for playing in BattleFY, so you don't just get a skin, but you might get some other exclusive stuff. So anyway, in the final match for our finals, we did keep pressure on this guy playing Behemoth, and we actually did win the whole tournament, which was really good fun, but there was only 5 teams, and I'd like to see a lot more teams, hence why I'm trying to convince you guys to get involved in this, because I would actually love to see any of you lot getting teams together and getting involved in BattleFY. The ever anticipated 5th monster is right around the corner, and it's going to be absolutely epic, so it'd be quite cool to see some other people involved in the competitive side of Evolve. But otherwise than that, guys, it's been Grizzle Marine. I'm sorry for such a short video. I just wanted to sort of, you know, talk about BattleFY, and if it goes well, I might be able to bring one of these every 2 weeks if I continue to play in this team. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.